They used to call him a monster before he ever tried to become one. But what they didn't know was that monsters are born from pain. And sometimes, monsters don't destroy, they protect. This is the story of a broken boy who carried the world's hatred in his heart, until one act of kindness changed everything. In the slums of a forgotten city, hidden between rusted tin roofs and sewage-filled drains, lived a boy named Zaid. He wasn't born evil. He wasn't born angry. But life has a way of changing people, especially when the world around them keeps reminding them they're unwanted. Zaid's father died when he was only 5. A construction worker crushed under steel beams, the company never compensated his family. His mother, once full of light, withered into silence, working long hours as a maid and coughing blood by the time Zaid turned 10. Poverty wasn't just a condition for Zaid, it was a prison, a shadow, a label stitched onto his soul. He went to school barefoot. Torn shirt. Dusty face. And every day, he was reminded he didn't belong. Monster. Trash. Stay away from him, he stinks. They didn't say these words behind his back, they screamed them to his face. Teachers ignored him, children mocked him. One day, he brought a lunchbox filled with just stale bread. A boy laughed and threw it out the window. Zaid didn't cry. He didn't shout. He just watched, silently, and something inside him cracked. At 13, he stopped going to school. He started collecting garbage with older kids. Not for money, for scraps. Anything he could sell for a few rupees. The city was a monster, feeding on dreams, spitting out children like Zaid. The boy who once wanted to be a doctor now dreamt of becoming something else entirely. A monster. Not the kind that hides under beds. But the kind that no one can hurt. The kind that is feared. He wanted to grow strong, emotionless, powerful, someone who doesn't feel pain anymore. He shaved his head. Started lifting scrap metal. Watched fights in alleys. Copied the fighters. He taught himself to box using broken mirrors and shadows. He bruised his knuckles every night until they stopped bleeding. His eyes grew colder. He stopped talking. The neighborhood feared him now. The kids who once mocked him now crossed the road when they saw him. He was becoming what they called him. Until one night, the night everything changed. Zaid was 16. It was freezing. He had a torn blanket and a rusted drum with fire inside it to keep warm. A man in a suit came rushing through the alley. He looked lost, panicked, and desperate. Behind him, 2 thugs chased with knives. The man tripped and fell near Zaid. "Help me," the man begged. Zaid looked at the man. Then at the thugs. A small voice in his head said, "Let them take him. This world is cruel. Let it burn." But another voice whispered, "You were like him once. Just scared. Just cold." Something inside Zaid moved. He stood up. The thugs saw him. Tall, muscular, with dead eyes. They hesitated. Zaid didn't speak. He just clenched his fists and stepped between the man and danger. One of the thugs swung, Zaid ducked and hit. Hard. The second one pulled a knife, Zaid kicked his knee, disarmed him, and chased them off. The man lay trembling. Why did you help me?" he asked. Zaid didn't answer at first. Then, in a quiet voice, "Because I know what it feels like to be left alone." The man, Dr. Imran, was a psychologist. He offered Zaid something no one ever had, a chance. Not charity. Not pity. A chance. He invited him to a youth center he funded. Zaid hesitated. The streets had taught him not to trust. But something in Dr. Imran's eyes felt different. So he went. It was the first time someone listened to Zaid. He learned words he had never heard, healing, trauma, anger management, mental strength. Slowly, he began to speak. Then he began to train properly, boxing, martial arts. Not to hurt others, but to discipline himself. He started reading books, helping younger boys who lived like he once did. The monster was fading. In its place, a protector was rising. Years passed. Zaid became a coach at the center. Kids called him Bai. Parents trusted him. The city that once spat on him now respected him. He started a campaign, "Monsters don't have to stay monsters." He went back to the school that rejected him, gave a speech on bullying. The same principal who ignored him once. She shook his hand with tears in her eyes. And one day, when he stood before hundreds of youth sharing his story, someone in the crowd shouted, "Why didn't you give up?" He smiled. "Because I realized. I wasn't born to destroy. I was born to protect. And sometimes, monsters are just hurt kids looking for someone to believe in them." End note to viewers. You never know what pain someone carries behind their silence. Sometimes the angriest faces hide the softest hearts. If you see someone breaking, don't throw stones. Offer them a hand. Like Dr. Imran did for Zaid. Like kindness did for the monster who became a mentor.